Welcome back to Find Me in a Book. It's 2025. We're so excited. And
2025. Brr, brr, brr.
exactly. That's
Another
how I feel. Another one. We'll see how this year goes. We're trying to be positive, right?
Only 5 days into the year. What are you talking about? Be positive.
I'm just trying to be positive.
Nothing has happened yet for us to...
Yet. I mean, kind of. But anyways, we're happy about 2025. And I want to officially introduce you to an official member. Officially. Because I've just been calling you the husband. I'm pretty sure they know your name by now. But this is JR, everyone.
They really never heard my name before?
I mean, maybe occasionally I've said it as I've talked about you, but I've always said the husband.
I am the husband, but my name is JR.
Don't say your last name.
Just bleep it out. Did you hear that beautiful bleep?
We don't want people really to know who we are. Just kidding. They have done their research if they want to know who we are.
Just look at me on IMDb. The name's there.
We are on the internet. So if you know who we are, that's fine. Welcome. JR will be a permanent member on the podcast every week.
Yeah, because, as we were listening to it, what we really realized that women want to hear from these fantasy books is the male perspective.
Absolutely.
Men.
What we definitely want to hear more in this day of age is more men. And
no, but we're here. Okay, we know that's not why you listen. You listen to it for the spice,
the spicy,
and the story, the enemies to lovers, or the monster romance, the dark romance. No, we're not.
We're going to talk about that. We will. We will talk.
We're going to talk about it all.
I'm going to make him go through all of it. Mm-hmm. And he's going to know all the ins and outs. He has not read a romance book, which I know you're like, he's got to. We're talking about that behind the scenes. I think, honestly, the gateway drug to romance books, and you could disagree with me. Let me know if you disagree with me. But it's the ACOTAR series. That is the series that everyone gets a taste of the fantasy and the romance. And from that series, it could go a lot of different ways. Some people just, right into the dark romance. We're not going to do that to him.
Thank you.
We're going to keep it pretty PG up until the point where I'm like, you're ready.
What? So really, Tav is here to provide all the valid and valuable information for romance books, whereas I am here to react and give my honest reaction to the reality of how it is impossible for men to measure up to these books.
Depends. But also you're just here for
literally and figuratively, apparently.
You're here for my scale of unhinged. You're going to let me know how unhinged these books are. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about a lot of different things throughout this year, but I'm excited for this format. I'm excited that JR will be here. We're going to be doing a lot of fun things. The main social media is Instagram. That's where we will mostly put everything. We will put polls on Thursdays. We're going to have Thirsty Thursdays where you tell me. I know. We're going to have
Thirsty Thursdays where I dress up in various swim attire. No, we're not doing that.
We are doing that now.
No, we're not.
But there will be polls up on Thursdays on the Instagram stories. I want to know what has been your favorite book as of lately, like what you're reading. I want to know if you have a significant other in your life that they've had a book boyfriend moment that you want to tell us about. I want to know if you found any videos or memes throughout the week that were so funny that you want us to know about, and we'll post them and, give a shout out and everything like that. I feel like most of my social media right now is on Onyx Storm, the third book in the fourth wing series. That has been all of my feed. And so I've been like, oh, okay, well, I'm ready for the book, and then we'll get even more social media on the book. In order to start this off just on the best note, we are going to initiate JR into our spicy book realm. And so he has to answer a couple questions that I've come up with.
This is the part of the show where we're going to play like a little game.
Yeah.
A little quiz, little trivia. Yeah. Before we get into the book, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this one is more general romance, but each time it will be around what we're talking about for that episode.
Okay.
So these are just general ones that I feel like you should know.
All right.
Okay. Question 1. What is the average height that authors use for a tall main male character?
Oh, 7'3".
Let me give you options.
Okay.
I'll
multiple choice?
narrow it down. Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple
it's not
choice.
open-ended.
I'll
All
narrow
right.
it down. A, 5'8". B, 6'1". C, 6'4". Or D, 5'11". What is the average height that authors use?
Well, I would first like to point out that none of those heights are correct because none of them are my height. So I'm going to go with the second best option. I think the average height they use 6'1".
Close. What's another one?
5'11".
Nope.
Oh, 6'3".
6'4".
6'4".
6'4" is what authors use on average for the height of their characters.
Because, that's the second most ideal size for a man. The first being 5'5".
Right.
In case you didn't know that.
Agreed.
Your short kings.
Short kings. We love those short kings.
What?
What?
Did you say queens or kings?
I almost said queens. We love short queens as well.
No, we like short kings.
Short kings. I'm a short queen. What trope is statistically the most popular in romance novels? A, enemies to lovers. B, friends to lovers. C, fake dating. Or D, second chance romance?
Ooh.
What is the most popular?
I think the most popular and easiest to write would be the enemies to lovers.
You're correct.
Yes.
That is the most popular in romance novels.
It's very easy for writers to write about conflicts and arguments.
Yeah, and the angst
ground.
And the sexual tension.
Yeah.
And
I will say second chance romance, though. That's always...
Really?
Second chance romance?
I don't like second chance romance.
What are you talking about? That's like every Hallmark movie ever.
Yes, that's why they're Hallmark. I just don't think... They're just not my jam. They're not my jam. And that's okay.
All right.
I would say if I had to rate the ones, definitely enemies to lovers. I do like a good fake dating. Friends to lovers is fine. It's not my favorite. And
Friends to lovers.
I don't super love the second chance romance because I'm like, why didn't you just figure it out in the first place?
Because they weren't in the right place the first time around. I know.
It's right person, wrong time.
Okay. When they come back to their quaint Christmas town.
I know.
And realize that their parents' wood chopping business is going under. They give up their high corporate job to help them out.
You're right. And they find someone from their hometown.
Yeah, and they remember the high schooler nerd that they never fell in love with.
But
because they weren't 6'4" yet. They were only like 5'8".
If it's a second chance, maybe they dated in high school. And then they're like, we can't. And then she comes back and he's like, hello.
Yeah, I'm just saying, second chance romance. I think that has a wide appeal.
I know. I'll read them. I'm just not going
I'll
to choose
read them,
it.
but I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Third question. Okay. What is the most common profession for male leads in contemporary romance novels?
Oh, hold on. Before you give me, let me see how many of them I can pick out because I bet I know.
Okay.
All right. Some sort of manual blue collar labor like mechanic, carpenter, plumber, something like that's not on the list.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Let me try another one. High corporate executive job. Okay, that's definitely one of them.
CEO businessman.
Yes, CEO business person. Okay. Of course, that's there.
There's three more.
Okay. Then I think another one would be lawyer. Is lawyer on there?
That's a businessman.
Oh, that falls under business? Yeah. Ooh, then probably some sort of like adventure occupation, like a guy who leads scuba diving or takes people on treks.
There's some with that.
Okay, why don't you tell me the options now? Because otherwise we're just going to sit here and guess.
There's a CEO businessman.
Yeah.
There's a doctor.
Oh, doctor. How did I not think
What's
of that?
another one that's like kind of in the same realm as doctor that like
pediatrician.
Saves lives?
Oh, EMT?
No, they work close with them.
Wait, doctors work close?
Firefighter.
Nurses? Doctors do not work close with firefighters.
Yeah, because EMTs work close with firefighters because they're housed in the firehouse.
Okay, but EMTs are EMTs. Some firemen are like EMT trained and all that, but it's in passing.
You're getting very detailed.
I'm just saying, doctors don't work directly with firemen.
Okay, well, no, I'm saying through the EMT. That's how you get to the firefighter.
Okay, agree to disagree.
The fourth one was surprising. Teacher, which I don't think that's I haven't read a lot of teacher, but there is the forbidden romance, but hopefully they're 18.
New Girl did a great job showing that forbidden romance with Doctor Goes In You.
Oh.
Doctor Goes In You.
Oh my gosh.
Goes
That's
in me?
so silly.
No, Goes In You. Oh, that's...
Oh my gosh. Okay, so which one do you think is
What's
the most common?
The most common one?
Yeah.
I think it's the business.
It is,
Yeah.
Maybe they just put doctor, firefighter, teacher. Maybe those aren't really like popular ones. It was just like
It's on the list.
It was.
I mean,
on
they're
the
pretty
list.
strong character archetypes. Like, you don't have to explain firefighter
they're just
to people. Yeah.
They're important people. Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
I studied. We'll do more next time.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, while I was on holiday for over a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very nice. I read almost 30 books in a month.
Yeah.
Like a book a day, pretty much.
Just so you know, it was a big deal that she took a break. Because you have been posting, I think, over the last 3 years, you've only missed maybe like 2 weeks of posting.
If that,
but you were constantly posting every single week.
It's the most consistent thing I've ever done in my whole life, besides being married to him. That's a big thing. So while I was on this holiday, I was going through a lot of different books. I was going through a lot of different eras, which we're going to be talking about the first era that I went through during this 30-day holiday. And that was Mafia. And
the Mafia genre.
Guess where I really got into this era? Guess who spurred this?
Wait, that was two different questions. What?
Oh, okay. So
are we asking about the era, like time period?
Sorry, no, with this Mafia, like, guess who put me onto this genre?
Your sister.
My aunt.
Oh.
My aunt.
Oh, I remember you telling me about.
She is so great. I love my aunt so much. She is very much into dark romance Mafia. And so I follow her on Goodreads, and she goes through books so fast because she listens to them. And so I was looking through them. I was like, I just need to ask her, like, what her favorites has been.
Your aunt likes some dark books.
She does, but you know what? I'm not going to yuck her yum. Like, she has given me very
Does it make you look at your aunt differently now?
It kind of does.
It's like, you know her dirty secrets.
Kind
on
of.
Her Goodreads.
But also I'm like, I am okay with it.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Just because she has given me such good recommendations that I'm like, okay, I kind of like this too.
I gotta say, that's really different for dudes. That's like
how? Tell me how it's different for dudes.
All right, let's say this exact same situation. All right, so if if we have our own Goodreads account and dudes know what other guys are listening to, and someone knows that a book is crazy and has like a bunch of like really dark, scary shit in it, or poop. Sorry, can we swear? Anyways, if it has that in it, guys won't talk about it.
Well, that's a guy.
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, it's very different for guys. Like, we wouldn't.
With girls, we're like, oh my gosh, you read that too? Let me give you some recommendations. Then we know which level that we're on. Because I know the people in my life, I know the level of spice that they can handle. With me, I'm almost at the bottom. But my aunt, she is there at almost.
Your aunt is inventing new genres.
She is at this point. I don't think we both. There's like an even bottom, like even like deeper level than the dark romances that we read. Like there's like deep levels. We're not there. At least I'm not, for sure.
Okay.
Because there's levels of spice, and it's like a well. I just think of it as a well. And it just gets darker and darker and darker as you go down.
It's like the dark web. It's the darker romance.
Let's not talk about the dark web.
We'll call it the darkness.
The dark web has been very prevalent in the series that I'm reading right now. And so we'll get into it, though. Anyways, we kind of spiraled a little bit.
All right, so you're into mob books
right now.
Mafia.
Yes, the
Mafia.
Bravka. What do they call it?
Bravka?
Which is Russian. Yeah, it's called a Bratva.
Bratva.
Which is, Mafia is Italian. Bratva is Russian. And then I think the cartel is Hispanic, like Mexican.
Spanish, yeah.
Yes, Spanish. But there are also I've learned a lot about Mafia stuff. I don't even know if any of this is true. I'm too scared to Google because I get, like, they probably will get notified, like, oh, who's this little girl in Arizona looking up Mafia people? But I just want them to have a directory. I just want a website to go to and be like, okay, I need a directory of each mafia. I need to know who is in charge. I just want to know what they look like.
These are fiction books, right? Like, they're not writing about actual people.
No, I mean, I hope not. But I just want to, I know that there's real people in these positions.
Yeah.
And I want to know what they look like. And I want to know what the names are. I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
You might be curious. You probably don't want to know.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to look it up because I know that they could get pinged, and I don't want any spotlight like that. According to these books, they could ping me, for looking up. Anyways,
well, the best ones are not going to be online.
Probably not.
Most prominent members will have no online presence.
I mean, we don't know at this point. So with this Mafia era, I was thinking back, when was the first time that I really remember reading like a Mafia book, and that was back in 2017 with Tijan. She did a book called Carter Reed and then another one called Cole, and that was my first introduction to Mafia, and I was like, why do I like this so much? But at that point, I didn't look for any Mafia books. If they came across my path, if someone recommended them, I would read them, but I never really looked for them.
Because you don't look for the Mafia books. Well, the Mafia books find you.
They do. They really do. Because
you.
I'm not one to immediately go and look at dark romances. Like, that's not the ones that I immediately go to.
You do know that was a joke that I said, right?
No, but really, they do find you. That's why I agreed with you.
But you know it was a joke, it went zoom.
No, I accepted it. I absorbed it. I was like, that is true, because it does find you. Like, you don't know that you need these books until you're reading them, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
We need like a live audience here. So
why?
So they can get the jokes.
I'm getting the jokes.
All right.
Okay, so... Well, we're not going to talk about a specific book today. We're going to be talking about all the series that I read of the Mafia that I read during the month.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. So,
got it.
A friend told me, you need to read a series called Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geissinger. And it's the Queens and Monsters series, Hooked. I read that series so fast. That was one of the series that I recommended to Caitlin first when she started listening to like books, like romance books. I did an episode on it, episode 122, if you want to go and listen to that book, that series, and my thoughts and feelings, because I highly recommend it. And then fast forward to, again, not reading a lot of Mafia, and I just kept seeing it on my aunt's Goodreads, and I was like, she's reading a lot of this, like a lot, that I'm like, I need to know what are the best ones. And so she's like, okay, you need to read anything by S.J. Tilley. And I was like, sold. So there is a series called The Alliance. There's 4 books in it. I have compared every Mafia series to that series now. Like, nothing is better than this Alliance series. I devour. So it was supposed to be me and Caitlin were listening to the first one together. And I was like, this is so good. And she was listening too slow. So I just left her. I was like, I am going to read all of these. And I read all 4 books.
The Mafia is going to leave you in the dust.
I read all 4 books within like 3 days. It was very fast, and they were very good. They're not even fast books. They're just very, very good. And then I read the Byrne Brothers series. Silent Vows in that series is very good. All of them. I think there was like 6 books. By Jill Ransower.
And with these books, they're all about Mafia stuff?
Yes,
do
they're
they
all
have
like
specific
brothers.
Tropes or?
Most of enemy, yeah, actually, there was like all the tropes. So there was like enemies to lovers, of course. There was arranged marriage.
Were all of the tropes inside all of the books, or like what was Ruthless Creatures?
Each book, that one was like kidnap.
Like that was kidnap and Munchausen syndrome.
Basically, I feel like each book in the series usually has a different trope than the other. So the one that the Alliance one, he breaks into her house. Not really breaks in. He's like running from the cops. He like walks into her house and she's just sitting there on the couch and he just starts watching TV with her. And she was like...
Just a random stranger?
Yeah, just
walks
randomly.
In.
Yeah.
New move to try, guys. Just walk into a random girl's house.
She falls asleep and he like leaves, but he like looks
She falls asleep with a stranger in her house?
Hey, she was tired. She was tired.
Apparently. Did he roofie her or something?
No, she just felt comfortable. And so he looked around her house.
This must have been a very handsome man.
He was very handsome. Very handsome.
Oh my gosh.
So then he becomes obsessed with her and he like comes back to her house and she's like, hello. And they do the dirty and like she gets targeted and he like kidnaps her. Like all the 4 books in this is like basically kidnapping. They like kidnap them.
All right, guys, that's the new move now that you try. All right, you dress up real fine, walk into a random person's house, hope it's an attractive girl, or maybe mid-tier, bottom tier. You know what? It doesn't matter if you can pull this off. That is like you get a gold belt or something for that.
That's it, a gold
Just
belt.
walk into her house
and an orange jumpsuit
and see if she. In an orange jumpsuit?
No, I said and a orange jumpsuit.
Wait, was he wearing an orange jumpsuit? No, then you can't. They're obviously going to think he escaped prison.
I know.
No.
I'm going to say he's going to get an orange jumpsuit because he's going to jail.
Okay.
It's like Prison Break.
I get it. That's the danger of it. See how fast the girl will call the cops on you.
You never know.
Or maybe she won't.
Maybe she won't.
Maybe that's the ultimate test of attractiveness. If you think you are so attractive, walk into a stranger's house and see if they call the cops on you or if they just question you and you make a brand new friend.
We
don't
recommend any of these.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
This is all fun in theory. Please don't do that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, the Byrne Brothers series by Jill Ransower. Kings of Mafia series, which is 5 books, is Michelle Hurd. I read all of these series in December. Now I am reading the Melnikov Bratva by Sonja Grey. They are kind of quick books, and it's weird because
why isn't that your favorite?
There's 5 brothers, but they're like brothers by choice. They all took on one of the guys' names. They had very abusive childhoods.
Okay, so these are like guys that found each other.
Yes, they all lived in the same apartment building in Russia. One of the guys, his sister gets taken into sex trafficking.
Ooh.
And so right now I'm in the 4th book and it's been about a year since she's been taken.
They still haven't found her after a year?
So they have been working through all these different systems to try and get to the sex traffickers.
Well, they are no Liam Neeson, I'll tell you
I know.
that.
Well, it's hard. Like they have like a tech guy that they really dig deep, but these sex traffickers are really like very secretive, and so they've had to like buy girls from these auctions like the brothers have just to get in with these people to show that that's what they're into too, and so that they can like find the right people. So at this point they have found the people behind this trafficking, and they're just hoping to find the sister still
after
alive.
4 books.
Yeah.
They barely
well
found it.
they like happened right after each other, and so it's like within a span of like 2 or 3 months that these books have been going.
Okay.
But these men are falling in love with these women like within a day. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm falling for it. I love you. And I'm like, what? Like,
so the romance happens too fast for you.
It happens too fast for me. Way too fast.
You got to take time to boil the frog.
Yeah, like it happens too fast. And yes, like the smut is good, and these guys are into
the smut
some,
is
like,
good, but
things.
I mean, it happened too fast.
It did.
You got to woo me into it a little bit.
You really do.
Before you throw a throbbing at me.
Exactly. Lots of throbbing. The one that I'm currently at, I can't even. I'm not here to yuck someone's yum, but he has a Prince Albert.
If you don't know what a Prince Albert is, that is.
I looked it up.
A male genitalia piercing.
It is.
Right through the head.
The urethra.
Yep.
And they get these big rings. And I looked it up on Reddit, which probably was the wrong thing to do. They just look so grotesque. But I'm not here to yuck your yum if that's what you're into. And he also has
No, she
Jacob's
won't, but
ladder.
I will. Guys, that's crazy. That's crazy. You pee 2 different directions when that happens?
I don't know.
I think so. I think, does it enhance the experience?
Okay, so not only does he, it absolutely must. Not only does he have the Prince Albert, wrong prince.
Why is it called an Albert? You know what? We're getting caught
He
up.
has a Jacob's ladder.
Oh.
He has 8.
I remember you telling me about this, and then you showed it to me.
8.
A Jacob's ladder, if you don't know, is, once again, focusing on the male genitalia.
Yeah.
The shaft on
Bars.
one side, bars, going across it.
It must be very pleasurable for him and for her. It must be. If people keep doing this, it must be very pleasurable.
It's not something I'm willing to find out.
That's very good. I would not want you to do. If you came home with that, JR, if you came home with that, I would be like, you are.
Hey, honey, check this out. Honey, check this out. I got a Prince Albert. What do you think of that? Huh?
JR.
It's going to take 6 weeks for it to heal up properly.
If you ever get a piercing on your pee-pee, just get a Jacob's ladder thing.
What?
I would rather do not get the Prince Albert. That is the most.
But the Prince Albert would just be one piercing. Whereas the
ring.
Jacob's ladder.
It's so grotesque. It's so,
I know. Oh my gosh.
JR.
I wouldn't ever.
But if you were.
No.
Get a Jacob's ladder. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so Tab prefers the Jacob's ladder.
I don't understand how
it's ribbed for her pleasure.
I don't understand how the Prince Henry Albert. How that's pleasurable. Because it's like sticking out.
I feel like we need to ask someone that
we should draw it out.
Draw it out?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to leave a paper trail of this.
Who's going to be in our house?
Well, we have a digital trail.
Well, there's already a digital trail for me because I definitely looked it up. Okay, now that we've talked about that for a while.
All right.
I have a would you rather to close out this episode for you.
Okay.
So would you rather be kidnapped by a dangerous yet devastatingly handsome mafia boss who swears it's for your protection?
Can we change a mafia boss to a devastatingly handsome woman?
No, it's mafia boss.
It could be a woman. A mafia boss could be a woman.
Put yourself in a woman's shoes. Put yourself in a woman's shoes, JR.
Fine. I'll be in a woman's shoes.
Okay. For your protection, because you unknowingly stumbled into his world and now he claims you belong to him, you're torn between resisting his controlling ways and falling for the softer, protective side he only shows you. So would you rather have that, like being kidnapped?
Okay, gotcha. That was a lot for would you rather. Okay, but what's the other option?
Or go undercover as the assistant to a mafia boss to take him down, only to realize he's not the monster that you thought he was. And as you get closer to him, you start questioning your mission and your own heart. But if he finds out your true intentions, you might lose more than just his trust, maybe even your life. So would you rather be kidnapped?
No, if I'm the girl in this situation, I'm taking the second option.
To be the assistant? But what if he kills you? To be the assistant, you're like an undercover agent, we'll say, trying to take him down, but you realize he's not that bad and you really like him. You can't tell him that you're an agent.
Yeah, but I could easily turn sides. Like, he doesn't have to kill me.
But what if you fall in love?
Well, then that's part of the romance.
Turn onto his side?
Yeah.
Because...
okay, this is a would you... Like, I told you why I take the other one, because even if you might kill... Like, I'm a woman. I could lie my way out of everything. Like, it's so easy.
Okay, that's fine. I would go with the first one.
Getting kidnapped?
Yeah, I would rather do that.
But if the gender roles were reversed, I would much rather be kidnapped by a mafia boss than play the assistant.
Her assistant?
Yes.
And try and take her down?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I know my strengths. I would be a terrible assistant. She would just kill me because I screwed up something.
Oh my gosh. You would die faster.
I'd die faster as an assistant. Whereas I think as a property, like, I'd have a shot.
That's fair. Anyways, yeah, that was my first era of holiday. Next week, we're going to be talking about monster smut. I hope you're ready.
Oh, well, we watched Nosferatu.
We did watch Nosferatu, we will talk about it next week.
Okay, well, let's tease them a little bit. Nosferatu was monster smut.
It really was. Definitely follow on Instagram. That's where we're going to be putting everything so that you can submit book boyfriend moments. You can submit memes. You can submit suggestions, everything like that. So watch for Thirsty Thursdays. YouTube, mostly where everything will be at. Still Spotify.
Full episodes will be on YouTube for you to watch. Spotify will have the episodes that you can listen to and watch. This was a delightful experience, and I look forward to the rest of my time here on Find Me in a Book podcast.
Good. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.